Russell was born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, but his dad was in the Canadian Armed Forces, so they lived all over Canada. Russell graduated high school in Yorkton, Saskatchewan, and took 1 year computer science at the University of New Brunswick. He then worked for a couple of years as a dispatcher with the RCMP. After that, he was off to the University of Saskatchewan, where he earned a degree in political science, and more importantly, met his future wife, Darcy. Back to the RCMP for a few years, then a Bachelor of Education degree, and his first teaching job in Whitewood, Saskatchewan. A move to Ministikwan First Nation, where he spent 9 years teaching, before carrying on to the Northwest School Division. Russell has spent the past 21 years teaching in Northwest School Division, mostly in Goodsoil, where he was principal for 7 years, acquiring his Master of Education degree along the way. Russell plans to spend September in Ontario visiting family, then subbing for a few years until Darcy decides to retire. Or he might go back to school and get a master's degree in political philosophy.
Happy retirement, Mr. Moore. Can you believe it? 26 years ago, I met you at Ministikwan, and then a few years after that, Darcy, you and I all joined the Northwest School Division. And now here you are retiring after 21 years at Goodsoil Central School. You've taught our students so much. You've always taught them to be kind, caring, respectful, and you always had a great way to look at the other side of a story, even when in conflict. Well, Moore, we've been through a lot together, good times and bad times, but I'm wishing you all the best for your retirement. Congratulations, and I hope you and Darcy have many adventures.
Val started her career at Turtleford School as a volunteer in her son's kindergarten class. Maybe she was there too much, because soon she was asked to actually get paid for her time. Val's first educational assistant job was working with 2 young boys who she grew to love. They challenged her in ways that she didn't know was possible, and she really came to appreciate all the differences in the people in their school. Standing up for those who didn't have a voice became her passion. Throughout the years, Val was in different classrooms from kindergarten to grade 12. When the community school coordinator retired in 1999, Val was asked to take her place. She had no job description, no real guidelines, and no idea of what was expected of her. She went to many learning opportunities and found her niche, mental health. At the time, support for kids in rural areas was almost non-existent. Val phoned the right people and got her name out there so the doctors and intake workers would see the Turtleford kids. Val officially retired in October of 2022, but it was a difficult decision as she didn't want to leave her kids. Val still subs as an EA at Turtleford, and it's great to see her school family from time to time. She and her husband Brian have been traveling in the winter and plan to continue traveling in the future. They have 2 children and a daughter-in-law and a soon-to-be son-in-law this August. Her son and his wife have 2 children, Lila and Adler. Val spends as much time as she can with them. They keep her busy. Kay lives in Dorintosh and hails from Makwa, where she comes from a family of bus drivers. Her sister-in-law Debbie started the trend and was spared off by her husband, Carol's oldest brother, Leslie. When they moved, her other sister, Rhonda, took over. Upon their move, Carol's sister, Bev, took over for the next 15 years, retiring in 2010. Following their lead, Carol started driving in Dorintosh in 2003. As Dorintosh's enrollment declined, she started driving to Meadow Lake for 2 years, leading up to the pandemic. Upon Dorintosh's closure, she started a route to Rapid View for 2 years. After 20 years of driving school bus, she took her retirement in 2022. Carol enjoyed seeing the kids every day and got a kick out of their stories. Now she hopes to create a few stories of her own. Carol looks forward to traveling and spending more time with her family in retirement. Barb began her career as an educational assistant at Jubilee Elementary School in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan. When Gateway Elementary School opened in fall 2001, Barb moved schools to be an educational assistant at the new grade 5 and 6 school. In 2006, Barb moved to Carpenter High School, where she remained for the rest of her career. Ramon has lived in Paradise Hills, Saskatchewan for the past 32 years. She graduated high school in 1985 from Turtleford School and received her Bachelor of Education, majoring in Home Ec and French from the University of Saskatchewan in 1989. Ramon began her teaching career in Lloydminster, Saskatchewan in 1989, teaching grades 7 to 9 Home Ec at Holy Rosary in the mornings and commuting to Ecole St. Thomas grade 3 for the afternoons. After 2 years, she transferred to full-time grade 3, where she remained until 1998. Ramon was able to step away from teaching full-time for 3 years to focus on her young family of 3. In 2001, she began teaching in Paradise Hill, which varied from subbing, 50%, 70%, and finally full-time. She had the privilege to teach humanities to grades 7 to 10, Home Ec 7 to 9, Phys Ed, K to 6, grade 5, school-based instructional facilitator, and finally vice principal. The highlight of Ramon's career are the children's lives that she had a part in and the beautiful friendships that she made along the way. One year that stands out was when she had her daughter, her neighbor's child, and her nephew in the same class. She was referred to as Mom, Moan, and Auntie, a gift received from working in a small community. In retirement, Ramon looks forward to spending time with family and doing the things she loves most. She and her husband enjoy Perch Lake, their farm, travel, and being with their children and grandchildren. These will be her focus in the days to come.
Mom, you've taught a wide range of classes and grades, all the while being a tremendous friend, teacher, colleague, and mentor, and administrator to many. I feel very lucky to follow in your footsteps in this profession and every day strive to be half the educator and half as organized as you were for 30 years. I can't tell you how excited I am to take all of your teacher clothes and all of your detailed lessons and units. Congratulations on retirement, Mom. I can't think of anyone that deserves it more.
Colleen is from the small town of Hartney, Manitoba. She received her Bachelor of Education from the University of Brandon in 1991 and started a position in Turtleford, Saskatchewan that fall. She thought she'd spend 2 years there before moving closer to home, but 32 years later, she and her family are lucky to call Turtleford home. Colleen has taught every subject and grade, but has mainly taught grades 10 and 11 history. In 2006, she tried her hand at admin by taking on the vice principalship. Then in 2014, she became principal. She's thankful for a career of working alongside so many great people, for the opportunities she's been given, and for being able to see so many students, both past and present, succeed. Colleen is looking forward to the freedoms that retirement will bring, but won't stray too far for too long, as she plans on subbing and coaching in the next years.
My name is Doug Milne, Vice Principal of the Turtleford School, and this is the send-off for Colleen Nelson, our Manitoba import who still cheers for the friggin' Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I guess I won't hold that against her. She started working in Turtleford 32 years ago, way back in 1991. Wow, she must be old. She started her career as a teacher, and she worked in that position for the first 15 years of her career. In that time, she was swept off her feet by a very good friend of mine named Larry Nelson. They got married in 1998 and had 2 fantastic boys. Drew Nelson was the first to come along, and then 2 years later, Landon Nelson entered the world. Colleen was kept very busy chasing these 2 boys around the area with the sports that they were always involved in. And then in 2006, she accepted the vice principal position. She had to be extremely organized because the principal at that time was none other than Daryl Newton. We can only imagine what that must have been like for Colleen. And then in 2014, Colleen became the principal of the Turtleford School. She took over steering the ship. It's been great working with Colleen. She's very organized, has an immeasurable amount of corporate knowledge for the school. She's always friendly, except when you piss her off, and then she's got to go take a walk outside, and that's very rare. She still loves teaching and has promised to come back and be a substitute teacher, as well as a community coach for the school in Badminton. I think the administrative portion of her job won't be missed nearly as much as the teaching part of it. Good luck, Colleen.
Dean spent all his growing years in Saskatoon. Following high school, he attended the University of Saskatchewan and received a Bachelor of Physical Education. Not yet knowing what he wanted to do, Dean spent a year traveling and finding himself, which in this case meant pursuing a career in education. Dean completed the after-degree program at the U of S and began teaching in fall of 1993 in Spiritwood, Saskatchewan. While attending the 1995 Spring Convention in Saskatoon, he met the love of his life, Allison Holtby, a young teacher from St. Walburg. Fast forward a few years, and Dean, Allison, their 4 beautiful boys, and a couple of dogs were enjoying their brand new log home on an acreage just west of St. Walburg. Dean primarily taught grade 6, but helped out where he could, taking on some senior science and PE when needed. Dean was very involved in Panther athletics, coaching basketball, track, and initiating both the cross-country and pass, punt, and kick programs. In 2014, Allison and the boys moved schools to become Panthers. After years of teaching and coaching other people's children, he was now blessed with the opportunity to mentor his own. In his retirement, Dean will miss the kids' smiling faces, working with the best colleagues an educator could ask for, and being part of the toughest but most rewarding profession in the world. He will not miss staff meetings, report cards, and repeatedly telling kids, I, I'm, and I've need to be capitalized. Although Dean's plans are undecided as of right now, he anxiously awaits the new challenges ahead.
Throughout your career, you were known as a coach. From cross country, to pass, punt, kick, to track and field, and to basketball.
You taught for 30 years. And these 2 had the privilege of being taught by you in the classroom.
but most of all, you were our dad.
How often do you say I love you to your child? Joe, let's start with you.
We love you, Dad!
Teresa Holba has always called Goodswell home. She was born and raised in Goodswell and went to school at Goodswell Central School. She first began her career at Goodswell Central School on January 25, 1990. Teresa has been an educational assistant at Goodswell for 33 years. She has enjoyed working at the school for all these years. Teresa doesn't have specific plans for her retirement, except for not having to set an alarm every day. Though born in Saskatchewan, Cardell grew up in Dryden, Ontario. He attended the University of Winnipeg, where he met his future wife, Angie. They received their Bachelor of Education degrees in 1991, got married, and 14 days later went north to Uranium City to begin their teaching careers. Cardell served as a K-9 multigrade teacher and principal at Ben McIntyre School. After 5 years, he, Angie, and their 2 boys, Braden and Tanner, moved south to Lloydminster, where Cardell served as teacher and principal at Hillmont Central School from 1996 to 2001. In 2001, Cardell began teaching in Lloydminster, serving as vice principal in the then-new Holy Rosary High School. In 2008, he took on the principalship at the School of Hope in Vermilion, working online for 11 years. In 2019, looking for face-to-face student contact, Cardell made the move back to Saskatchewan, where he has worked the last 4 years as vice principal at Ernie Studer. One of his most distinctive teaching memories took place in Uranium City, where a freshly killed caribou was brought into the school gym and was skinned by a local elder. Students were shown how each part of the caribou was rendered and used by the Cree and Dene people of northern Saskatchewan. Following his and Angie's retirement, they plan on dedicating time to growing their window covering business, and travel to warmer climates during non-teaching holidays is highly likely, and spending time with his new grandson is sure to keep him busy.
Hey Dad, congratulations on 32 years of teaching, and congratulations on your retirement. You've definitely earned it, you're hardworking, and you've passed on your wisdom onto many, many students over the years. And now it's time to take a break and take it easy. Kick back, catch some fish, do some traveling in the bowler, and enjoy. So, wishing you all the best, and take care. Cheers.
Congratulations, Cardell. 32 years is something to be proud of. I can't wait to do more hiking, biking, and selling shades.
Congrats on your retirement, Dad. You've earned it. Have fun spending time at the lake and catching lots of fish.
Congratulations, Cardell. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you, and I can't wait to see you continue being an amazing grandpa to Matthew and to any grandchildren to come.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Daryl hails from Biggar, Saskatchewan, home of the world's largest white-tailed deer, and well, not much else. Daryl started teaching in Purdue in 1985. He had an absolute blast there and stayed for 16 years, the last 5 as principal. One of many highlights was when he hired a young, inspiring educator from Allen, Saskatchewan, who became our beloved Director of Education in 2010. Change called, so Daryl took a teaching position in Brigham City, Utah. It was refreshing to become a full-time teacher again, with all subjects in his area of specialization. Then home called, so he took the principalship at Turtleford in 2002. Daryl was there for 8 years and has a lot of great memories. In 2010, he was hired as a superintendent of curriculum and instruction, where he has remained the past 13 years. Daryl has truly enjoyed every minute of it. It is difficult to leave all the quality people that comprise this great division. It has been a great run, and he wishes everyone the best.
Today we are tasked with toasting our colleague Daryl. Where do we even start? Retirement is a magical time to replace deadlines with fishing lines and alarm clocks with afternoon naps. But really, how's that going to be any different from now?
One thing that we do know, retirement will provide Daryl with more free time for reading blogs, being banned on Twitter, writing in his journal, pruning trees, and finding creative ways to not use a ladder, i.e. garage lighting.
Daryl will miss our animated conversations with you at coffee time, those meetings where we had to turn off our cameras because you were in trouble, the altercations that you caused, and all the laughs that we had at your expense.
Here's to Daryl. May your retirement be filled with sunny skies, endless adventures, and ample opportunities to watch Zachary play ball. Cheers to you,
Cheers.
our friend.